Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you're returning. My name's Amelia. I hope that you're doing well. Okay, so in today's reading, we're doing a pick a card, pick a pile reading, looking into what are your spiritual intuitive gifts and how to develop them. So what comes out, it might be things that you already know with some confirmation and some additional information on where to take them, as I said, how to develop these. Or it could be something that you haven't yet sort of come into, because sometimes as we move through life, we connect more with, let's say, clairaudience, and that can then switch to clairvoyance. So I suppose come to this with sort of an open mind, and if it doesn't immediately resonate, of course it might just be choose a different pile, or maybe this isn't your reading, but it could also be that some of this information will start to reveal itself to you later on. Okay, so it's a general reading. Take what applies, leave what doesn't. Go with whichever pile resonates. If there's more than one, absolutely, you're welcome to watch however many are calling you. So we have the 3 piles here. The timestamps will be pinned to the comments. So let me show you up close what we've got. So for pile 1, this is what we have. So we've got the Hanged Man rope, and we have the Emperor crown. Okay, and just in case the cards give you a feeling, this is what we have here. Okay, for pile 2, we have the Pentacle, and we have what looks to me like, well, it reminds me of the Egyptians here. So let me show you. That's not helpful at all, is it? Okay. Can you see that? I hope you can make that out. And we have the Pentacle. And these are the cards. Okay, and for pile 3, we have a Devil and we have a Crescent Moon. Okay, and here is the tiny Crescent Moon, and these are the cards. Okay, so let's begin then with pile 1. If you need more time, of course, you can just pause the video and take a few deep breaths. Okay, so let's just put these over here. So actually, I already want to begin the reading talking about your spiritual gifts. So if you chose pile 1, we have, as I said, we've got the noose representing the Hanged Man, and we have the crown for the Emperor. So already this shows me that your gift comes from, or part of your gift here is the power of foresight, insight, and introspection. Other people may come to you because with the Emperor as well as the Hanged Man, they see you as someone who has a lot of good wisdom, knowledge. You make really good decisions. You're somebody people can go to for great guidance and advice. With a Hanged Man, they might sometimes wonder, how do you know so much? It's almost like, if you meet someone who's quite young and they seem to have a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, they're sort of wise beyond their years. That might be how people feel about you. That could be how they see you. And, whatever your age is in a 3D sense, they may always have felt this about you. Maybe you came across as a particularly mature child. So you perhaps can see things in a different way. People feel that you are grounded on the 3D with the Emperor. You can really take care of business, but at the same time, you have this inexplicable, as far as they're concerned, it's inexplicable connection to some kind of higher wisdom or some kind of higher knowing that other people don't have. Okay, so let's go through the oracle cards that came out for you first, and then we'll pull some tarot together. So for your spell card or your manifesting card, we have healing spells. So I'll read through in a minute. I just want to pull and everything and see what we've got here, because I don't know myself. Okay, we have a card for the root chakra as well, which is very interesting with that Emperor energy that I was talking about. We have peace. Acceptance, another, all the red here, more root energy. Some of you could be talking about the root. You could be root workers. You could have maybe some sort of ancestral heritage or lineage in root work, things like hoodoo, which is definitely not the same as voodoo. but we'll get into this. We have step out of your comfort zone, North Node. The energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. And we have Saint Bridget, Our Lady of Exalted Light. And it says, I give endlessly because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. Okay, goodness, pile one. Your spiritual gifts. You're incredibly powerful is the first thing I want to say. You have an incredible balance between the 3D and the 5D and, the 4D in between. It feels to me that you are an old soul. You have a particular level of mastery here. And if we're talking about your spiritual gifts in terms of, say, clairaudience, clairvoyance, intuition, it's almost like Spirit is saying you have all of these at your disposal, and it's up to you in the moment to decide which one is going to be most beneficial to you. It's almost like you've gone beyond the separation of different psychic gifts. Perhaps through lifetimes you worked on these, and now you have them as a whole. And you can tap into them. And I'm hearing you don't necessarily even realize when you're using claircognizance versus clairsentience. It's like the messages just come to you sort of effortlessly, they flow. And because you've had a lot of experience with these gifts, it's like they don't startle you. With all of this root chakra energy, you can still remain grounded, and you're very good at bringing the wisdom, the insight that you get from the higher realms, from source, from spirit, from your guides, and bringing them into the 3D and really using this, not just saying, okay, I have this message, great, what do I do with it? You can incorporate this to help yourself, to help others. I almost feel that for some of you watching this pile, your work, again, because you're very accomplished spiritually, it might be that you, in this lifetime, you do, or you're thinking about moving into a career, a profession, which revolves around you using these skills, these abilities. And if it's not work, you might feel like your life purpose kind of involves supporting people, helping people to either connect to their spiritual selves or bringing them wisdom and advice. And if you do, whether you're doing this for work or not, whether you want to or not, just know that people pick up on this. The Emperor, the Hanged Man, they recognize this within you. So in that sort of way, you are fulfilling what might feel like a bit of a life purpose here for you. Okay. So let's start here. We have healing spells. So you definitely bring this healing energy to others. And I feel at this stage for you, it's pretty effortless. Your energy, your high vibration is very attractive to others. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're always walking around feeling happy and positive, but your default state, you vibrate at a high level. Okay, it says Dream Mist Potion. Sleeping on crisp, clean, herb-scented sheets always make for the soundest sleep and delicious dreams. Here is a potion for dreamers. 4 drops of lavender oil, 3 drops of chamomile oil, 3 drops of orange oil, and 4 ounces of distilled spring water. Shake the oils and water in a coloured glass spray bottle or mister. 15 minutes before you retire, spray your bed linens, bath towel, pillow, and all around your room. You may want to keep a dream journal by your bed to record what happens during the night. Okay, so you could be dream masters. So dream masters are souls who, when they go to sleep at night, they have very vivid dreams. And if you know about astral travel, so your soul leaving your body to basically travel the astral planes, there are 7 positive, 7 more negative astral planes, which lead to things like nightmares. But you may be one of these souls who travels a lot at night, and the purpose for doing this is that you meet with other souls on the astral planes and you help these souls have experiences, live enact things that they can't do on the 3D. So maybe they're enacting revenge, or you're helping someone to see something from another perspective or to gain insight. So this is one of your gifts, working with the astral planes, doing this dream work to help yourself and to help other souls as well. So when you wake up in the morning, you might find that you've had a crazy dream, it doesn't make any sense, or you might just feel exhausted and you're thinking, but I had a good solid sleep, 8 hours, whatever. I don't remember any dreams, but I don't feel any more refreshed. And it's most likely because your soul has been very busy doing lots of work and helping, in the astral planes. So if that resonates, you can set the intention with your higher self that you only want to do this work in the astral planes, as long as it's not interfering with your rejuvenation, a deep sleep, a healing sleep. You don't want to be exhausted when you wake up. Okay. So how can you use this for yourself? Well, you can set intentions before you sleep. I have this problem. I'd like some insight, or I'd like some guidance, or I'd like some direction with this, that, and something else. Asking your guides, your higher self, your ancestors even, because I feel some of you have a very close link with your ancestors and you might be working with them already. So set that intention, have a notebook by your bed, or, the note app on your phone, whatever works for you. And when you wake up, just jot down what came through, even if it doesn't seem to make sense to you in the moment. And you might have to do this, a few nights in a row for things to start coming together. The more you do this, the easier it will be, the clearer the messages will be, because your guides will understand you're really serious about this, and you'll begin to develop a connection, a relationship that's more symbiotic, and you can understand one another more easily through your dream work here. Also, I want to say, if this resonates with you about nighttime sleep, dreaming, the hours, between 2 and 4 a.m., particularly around 4 a.m., that's when it's the easiest for us here on the 3D to receive messages. So depending on how dedicated you are, you could set your alarm for 4 a.m., just to wake up for 5 minutes to ask, are there any messages, set the intention, and then when you fall back to sleep, see what comes through. I mean, that's only going to work if you're able to fall asleep quite quickly. If you're somebody who knows if you set an alarm for 4 a.m., that's it, you're awake. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Okay, so let's look at this card. This card is about the root chakra. Let's see what it says. The primal root chakra flows freely when you feel stable and secure. Are your needs being met? Do you have childhood issues that need to be addressed? Spirit is calling you to release these issues and ground your energy. Okay, this is the number 24, which breaks down to the number 6, which is, we know in tarot, it's the card of the lovers. The lovers can represent divine feminine, divine masculine energy within us all. It can talk about yin and yang. And this is what I'm saying. You've got this really accomplished balance between masculine and feminine energy, introspective energy, outward facing energy, the 3D grounded energy here in the 3D environment versus your intuitive world, the 5D. This is how I know you're experienced at this, because it takes a while, doesn't it, to find that balance and to know how to work with both energetic spaces. So 2 cards of the root. So it's interesting because for some of you, it might be that for much of your life, you would have looked at tarot and anything spiritual and said, what a load of nonsense, and you've been very focused on the 3D. And then you start to open up and you might then say to yourself in a few years, I could never have guessed I would be working as maybe a Reiki healer or reading tarot or whatever it is. So that will resonate with some of you. For others of you, like I said, I feel that you have managed to incorporate some form of healing work or spirituality into your everyday career. You feel very grounded, you feel very comfortable with this work. And if not, if you're feeling pulled in that sense, but you're saying, I'm worried that I won't be able to bring enough money in from this, or that it's only going to be short term, or that I won't find my clients, my customers, or my peers, Spirit is saying, we're encouraging you, we're supporting you to step outside of your comfort zone and to really, make something of all these gifts that you have worked so hard on throughout lifetimes. Okay, so you definitely bring healing to other people. One of your gifts could be working with energy. So like I said, Reiki work, other kinds of healing modalities, particularly through the hand, placing your hands on people's bodies, physical bodies, on their energy bodies, their aura, that kind of thing. So that's a gift perhaps that you might have and that you could develop. You can develop that in a very practical, grounded way. You can take a Reiki course, that sort of thing. But you definitely bring reassurance, stability, and a sense of peace to other people. Okay, so this card says, peace comes from remembering that only love is real. Yeah, That's what I mean. You vibrate at a very high level. That's your default state. It's almost like people can sense that in you. Even if you're going through something difficult, it's like you keep this high vibration and you understand that at the end of the day, you know that you're going to pull through. You know everything is going to be okay again, because I think you know, again, through lifetimes, you've been through so much, and every time you've managed to come back to yourself, to come back to center. So you have this, it's almost like an unconscious knowing, and you might not always feel this in the 3D, but your soul, on a soul level, you absolutely know. Okay, so step outside of your comfort zone. The energy is gaining momentum. Again, if this is you bringing your spiritual gifts into the 3D in terms of work, keep going on the path that you're on. If you're feeling nudges, be open to the nudges, even if they don't make complete sense yet. I think they will start to. But if we're not even talking about work career here, this is Spirit saying your gifts are developing naturally anyway. You know, they have been developing for a long time. Specifically, I'm hearing the word seamlessly weaving, again, the 3D and the 5D, and acting as a bridge, in fact, the hanged man, you know, to help others, bringing these messages down, again, consciously, unconsciously, and passing these on to others to inspire and to guide, to lead. If you look at this image, we have 3 birds, and there's one that's way up ahead. I hope you can see. Let me see. Where is it? Here. And these other 2 are following. It's, you know, sometimes you might find that you feel lonely. You might say to yourself, goodness, I feel so different. I feel that I see things differently. Or I might be surrounded by people, but I kind of feel that I'm on my own here. Or I feel like I'm the one that people always come to, but I don't really have anyone who I go to. I always have to figure things out for myself, by myself. And that's very difficult, but Spirit's saying the reason for that is that you know, you might find that you say to yourself, I feel like I give good advice to others and I give myself the best advice. And Spirit's saying, yes, it's true, you know, and you know that you don't need to go to anyone else because you're the one here holding the guiding light for others. And look, it's almost like the hermit's lantern here. You are incredibly wise. You've spent a lot of time looking within, and it's serving you so well. For yourself, for others. You could definitely be a starseed here, and that could lead to a feeling of maybe a bit of separation from those around you as well. Not completely seeing or understanding why people do the things in the way that they do. Okay, so let's get you some messages through tarot as well. Okay, so what else can you bring? What can you add, please, to group 1? So group 1, what I would say is, I almost feel it feels a bit too rudimentary for me to say to you, you know, if you want to develop clairvoyance, you can, you know, do this and that, because I think you know already. What I would say, though, is if there is a particular, if there is something in particular that you do want to work on, so, you know, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, go for it. You know, just choose one, because I feel that they're all there available for you. I feel you have particular strengths in dream work, astral travel, connecting with guides, ancestors. Also, like I said, for some of you, root work, hoodoo as well. Maybe even, you know, like spell work or manifestation, however you think of that. But I feel you will be successful with whatever you want to choose here, because it's almost like you've earned this across lifetimes. You know, you have worked to be this accomplished. So I would even say you could start somewhere like going on Google, typing in, you know, to find a quiz, what's my strongest intuitive gift at this time, you know, obviously apart from dream work and everything we've discussed, seeing what comes up and then taking it from there. Because it's completely open. It's not like I can say your strongest intuitive gift is clairvoyance. So, you know, to strengthen that, look around the room, close your eyes, remember, you know, bring to mind what you've seen, or pay attention to signs. I feel everything is pretty much here at your disposal. because you're at the level where Spirit's saying, if you want to put yourself forward as kind of a leader in some sense in the spiritual world, in terms of a career and profession and a guide to others, you can do this. You know, you're not at the beginning of a journey here. Okay, so we have Justice in the reverse, Libra energy. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse. Yeah, we have the Three of Pentacles. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You're up here as a guide, working with other people who they don't have the balance, the mastery that you do. See, look, we've got the yin and the yang symbols, but this card's in reverse. Also, people who feel they've been through an injustice, they're not in such a high vibration. They're looking for guidance, light, inspiration. You have the light here, and you can give a lot of it because you understand that source energy, light, it's not limited. One thing that might be helpful is remembering to cleanse. You could be empaths, so cleanse your energy, stay grounded so you don't feel that people are taking more than you have to give. So do remember to practice your grounding, your cleansing. The Queen of Swords in reverse and the Three of Pentacles. So people, you might find people who are a bit bitter or feel they've been done wrong are drawn to you. They might look to you to sort of help to turn things around for them. Honestly, this reading is supposed to be about your gifts, but it's almost like Spirit's using this as an opportunity to say, come on, you've got these gifts, move forward. We've been nudging you. So pile 1, you've probably already been seeing lots of prompts from Spirit to do something more with these gifts that you feel you have always had. And again, you don't have to do this for work. But there is definitely something here, and you're probably already doing it, guiding, leading others. For some of you, maybe you want to start a group in person or online, lead a meditation group. I don't know, with justice, it could even be working in a legal profession or something like that. But in some way, this inner light is going to serve you. See what else, please, for pile 1. Yep, the Lovers in reverse, and I was just talking about that specifically in relation to the balance between the masculine and the feminine, the outward facing, inward facing energy here, you know, the yin and the yang. And you see how it's come out in the reverse now with Justice in the reverse, the scales of justice reversed, an imbalance here. Okay, we have the King of Cups in the reverse. We have the Six of Swords reversed, and we have Death, which is about transformation. Okay, you guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. One of your gifts is healing. Healing through your words, your wisdom, your touch. Please never, I'm feeling incredibly serious about this right now, because this is an incredible gift and skill. And it's not even just a gift, because you have worked on this, you know, to become this accomplished, as I keep saying, across lifetimes. But you can take people who feel broken, they feel angry and they feel bitter for good reason. Their hearts have been, you know, broken, stamped on, burnt, crushed. They've maybe been treated unfairly, you know, outside of love as well, in terms of money, work. People who have given up and they are angry, you know, you can help these people transform, and you don't even have to really do anything. There are several levels. You could simply be around them, and your energy, your light is healing. You help them to go within, to reflect, to think about the times in their life or the events that hold them. You know, sometimes we can think of things and we can say, well, I was this person before this event and this is me now after. You help people to go back and look at that event, to bring it to light, to heal it and release it. So just by being around them, sometimes they'll come to you, you can give them advice, or you could go all the way with this and you could set this up as your work. So people know about you as a source, and they come to you for healing. You could even help them with their dreams here. Dreams can talk as well about the inner world, their intuition. Maybe you can help other people realize their gifts, or you can take them into their subconscious. Some of you could be working in the field of psychology here. This is big. I mean, look, you can help people go through a death and a rebirth, and you wouldn't be able to do that if you were not some sort of guide if you hadn't been through this yourself, again, across lifetimes. So this energy is big. It's kind of too big for one, reading here, pick a deck reading. But what I would say to you is, if this has resonated with you, please take this as a starting point, and from here, take the information that's working for you, go away and begin to look into this for yourself, because you don't need a tarot reading to tell you. You are a master here. So continue the work that you're doing in the way that works for you. I would just say, remember to stay grounded, cleanse your energy, make the most of this connection you have through dreams, the work you do in the dream world. Also set your boundaries there if you're finding that you're exhausted. But you don't need me to tell you, you don't need any tarot reading to tell you that you have these gifts and that other people are drawn to you because of them. And I do feel that you've been feeling guided, pushed, nudged in certain directions here. So you probably intuitively know what the next steps are. If you want the next step to be, as I said, really grounding this and making it your career, your profession, Spirit's got your back. But it feels to me that your gifts here are not limited just to yourself, using your gifts to receive information or to understand things. That's probably pretty easy for you at this stage. This is about you being a light in the world, being almost, wow, okay, I heard the word prophet, so Spirit's word, not mine, but being a leader in that kind of a way for other people. And yes, sometimes you might feel lonely because of that. You might think, I didn't ask for this, I don't know why people always come to me. Because they know you have the answers, they know you have this, you've really developed this incredible connection with information that we can't see and touch here in the 3D, and they kind of, in a sense, want a piece of that. Even if they don't understand that's why they're coming to you, they are, because they know you have access to resources, to information, to understanding that they don't have, and it brings them peace, it brings them clarity. Wow, okay, we have Scorpio energy here, Libra, Gemini. Some of you, you could bring this information forward through speaking, writing, like if you, like an event, you can book an event to go to a talk, that sort of thing. I can really see you as being the person who is giving the talk and selling these, selling out halls and that sort of thing, and people hanging on your every word. And I think the whole time you might be there thinking, wow, I cannot believe that even one person has paid to hear me talk, and yet there are hundreds, thousands that want to hear you, because for you this feels maybe so innate, so natural, but it's incredibly special, and other people know. Okay, so I will leave this here, group 1. I hope this is helpful. I kind of feel I've already I'm just, Spirit's using me to prompt you. I think you already know, you've already been prompted in certain ways, and you kind of understand that you are incredibly gifted. It's not even about developing your gifts at this point. It's about, well, what do you want to do? Where do you want to take them next? This could get, things could be really big for you if you want them to be, in whatever sense, you want them to be. Okay, so let's move on to pile 2. Okay, so pile 2, let's have a look at what cards we have. We'll look at your oracle cards first, and then we will pull some tarot messages. Okay, so you have Moon Spell, and I'll read this in a moment. It says, oh, Soulmate Spell. Okay, we have, so this, what's this? The Sacral. Yeah, so the Sacral Chakra, which is about creation, birth. We have Balance. That's interesting. Balance makes me think of justice. So I'm wondering if some of you also resonated with pile 1. We have the Warrior Saint. We have Surrender to the Divine, and we have Comfort. Pile 2, I feel that either in this lifetime or previous lifetimes, you have been through a lot. Your spiritual gift, it comes from it's almost like it was born out of struggle, the necessity to dig deep, to go within, to find the light within the darkness here. And it's because you had to go through that. Almost what I'm describing basically is a dark night of the soul. And because you had to go through that, you came out the other side with obviously the experience, the knowledge, the wisdom. So your gift may have been triggered, as I said, in this lifetime or previous lifetimes through necessity. You may not have been looking for these gifts. You may not even have been thinking about them. You may not have assumed that they would have been the result of something you were going through, but it just feels to me that there was some kind of struggle, and maybe it was like one particular event, or it was a particularly difficult period in your life, or a particularly difficult lifetime previously. And after this event or situation or lifetime or period of time, you came out transformed. It's almost like a complete rebirth with the sacral chakra, showing up here. You had to reinvent yourself, and you came out of this with a much stronger connection to the divine, with surrender to the divine. Full moon, it's like at some point you had to just throw your hands up and say, okay, this is what it is. I've tried everything I can here in the 3D. Spirit, God, divine, universe, I'm handing it over to you. Help me. And that's when the divine came in and said, okay, we definitely will. And maybe you found that you received some kind of comfort when this happened. So for me, this feels almost like one of your strongest gifts is clairsentience, maybe even claircognizance. So clear thinking, clear knowing. It's like a clear feeling, like you feel spirit, source, the universe, God, whatever term you give, to source energy, to light. You feel this within. If you might be someone who you can think about things obviously intellectually, rationally, but ultimately you might trust your gut feeling. You really listen to what your body is telling you, to those intuitive nudges, to those physical, biological reactions to things. How do things make you feel? Because you've had to trust that in the past, and you can see that your intuition, your gut feeling has never led you wrong. And look, obviously we have the warrior saint. What does this say? I am a warrior of love. My devotion attracts resources and support. Yeah, this is the thing. I feel at some point you really struggled. You really had to fight. And things may have been difficult until you finally said, okay, I let this go. You may even have said, okay, I give up. And that's when the resources started to come through. So your gifts were triggered by, it feels like you were kind of forced into a position of complete surrender, even almost submission, where you realized, okay, I can only do so much, and then the universe pulled through. So people may look at you and they may say, how can you have such faith? How can you have such trust? I'm hearing Sagittarius, Jupiter energy. Some people might even say you're lucky, or that things always work out for you. But it's because it's something you've practiced. You had to learn to trust your intuition, to trust those nudges which you now follow. So yes, things do work out for you because you're listening to your inner voice. You understand what's right. So you may have a very strong connection to your higher self, to your guides as well. And people, they can't see that on the outside. So to them, it looks like things just effortlessly work out for you. But it takes a lot of courage, to maybe go against what seems logical or what everyone else is doing or telling you, and to follow your own inner guidance system here. Now, with these two symbols as well, this pentacle, you may... At some point you may have struggled with your resources in the 3D, but again, it might be that people look at you and say, well, how do you have such a nice life? Or how do you have money for this or that? Or you always seem to be able to have everything you need. And again, it's because you're trusting, and the universe is aligning things for you and bringing you the resources you need at the right time. And if you're saying, well, that doesn't sound like me, but some of this is resonating, it could be that this is spirit saying, this is where you're heading next. You're going to be able to develop a connection, a knowing that is so strong through claircognizance, through clairsentience, that you just follow that inner knowing, and you watch your 3D reality align and shift to bring you everything you need as and when you need it. Okay, this symbol here, some of you may have connections to ancient Egypt. A lot of us do. There could be like particular Egyptian gods or goddesses who work with you, who who you resonate with. If you've had an interest in Egyptian culture, I would absolutely encourage you to research it, to look into it, to maybe just even start by pulling up a list of Egyptian gods and goddesses and to read about them and see who resonates, because one of them here could be trying to work with you, or that could be like a source of hidden strength that you can tap into as well. But that's obviously very ancient wisdom and knowledge. And that, if tapping into that, could be part of the reason why you feel so confident surrendering to the divine, because you understand that it's not just your own private inner feeling, that feeling is you tapping into a pre-existing, rich, deep history. It's not just you, it's you connecting to guides, to ancestors, to gods, to goddesses, to the divine. That's the sort of thing that we wouldn't believe or trust unless we were forced to, unless we had to. You may even have witnessed something at some point that you felt like, my God, this is a miracle. I cannot believe this is happening. It's like something here happened to bring about some sort of change in faith, or shift your focus, or to make you believe in something that you never would have previously. With balance being here, I'm seeing you haven't become disconnected. It may not have been the easiest thing to balance out your 3D reality with the 5D or your gifts here, but I feel you have managed this. With the blue, this could talk about the throat chakra. It also could be like an indigo kind of color, so that can talk about the third eye, which again would link to what was I saying? Well, clairvoyance, I suppose, really, clear seeing, but I'm thinking more of claircognizance, which is a clear knowing, like you can see through, excuse my language, the bullshit. You can see the truth of a situation, no matter how it's presented. And this could be something someone's telling you, it could be a particular event in the world, or the way something is being reported in like the media, or even if there's a conflict in your family, the way this is being told to you, you can kind of see what actually has happened, what's actually going on. Let's say someone's acting a bit foolishly and they're annoying you, they're trying to upset you. You might see through that, and it's because they're feeling vulnerable and afraid, so they're trying to push you away before you reject them. Whatever it is, you just get straight to the heart of the thing. There's no messing about here. Okay, so like I said, claircognizance, clairsentience, and clairvoyance. So you might want to have a look at those three. Let's keep going. Okay, soulmate spell. If you are seeking a soulmate, this simple spell will do the trick. On the next new moon, take 2 pieces of rose quartz and stand in the center of your bedroom holding them, like 2 pink candles, and recite, "Beautiful crystal, I hold this night, flame with love for my delight, harm to none as love comes to me, this I ask and so shall it be." Keep the candles and crystals on your love altar or bedside table, and think of it as a shrine to love. Repeat 3 nights in a row and ready yourself for a more. Okay, so for some of you, part of your gift here, it could be being this spiritual warrior or leader with a divine counterpart, with a soulmate here. That's one way of looking at this. Another way of looking at this is this difficult experience you went through. It could be related to a soulmate, whether it's romantic or not, something you went through in a relationship with someone in the past that really brought about this death and rebirth. Obviously that makes me think of Scorpio energy, transmutation, the energy of Pluto, which again came up in pile 1. So, if that resonated, you might want to check out that pile. There's just incredible strength here. And it's almost like, for you, your gifts, the spiritual world, your intuition, it's not something silly and frivolous, because it's the thing, possibly the only thing that pulled you through something in the past. So you stand behind it. And if someone sort of criticizes it or makes a joke of it, I think you would be quite serious about that. Because you believe it and you've seen it play out. It's not just like you have faith, but you've seen the results of this as well. Okay, so let's get some tarot messages here. I think you have an incredible ability to reinvent yourself. So this could be, you know, changing your fashion, changing your outlook. If you've always believed something and then you find some evidence to change your thinking, you're not afraid to say, okay, you know, I see it differently now. If you encounter a setback, you always overcome. And again, other people look at you and they say, well, how did you overcome bankruptcy? How did you so easily find a new home when your previous home got flooded? Do you know what I mean? Like that sort of thing that would really floor most people. And it's not that it's easy, but you've been through something or some things this lifetime, previous lifetimes that were difficult, you know, really, really like right down to your soul. So you can handle these things. You know, you have this inner strength, and you know that, you know, even if everything seems to be changing and being taken away from you in the 3D, if you surrender to the divine with the full moon, you can bring in new, fresh energy here. And with this pentacle, you know, this charm, you will be provided for because you've seen it happen. We have the Chariot in reverse, Cancer energy. But again, this is like you saying, okay, I'm taking my hands off the wheel because I have faith. Yeah, the Ace of Cups. I know that I will be gifted things as and when I need them. You know, the word submission is coming through again. It's almost like you didn't want to be pushed into a position where you had to say, you know, I'm taking my hands off the wheel and I'll see what happens. But Spirit made it so. You know, it's like your initiation into your spirituality, your spiritual gift was particularly stark and it almost quick. There was no easing, there was no gentleness, and I think part of that is because, you know, you now have this strength that you wouldn't have had if you'd had a smoother ride, if you have had an easier initiation here into your gifts. Some of you could have a very active imagination as well, which actually makes sense with clairvoyance coming through. So pay attention to not only the signs you see outside of you, but also what you're imagining, what you think about, what you daydream about, especially if you find yourself repeatedly daydreaming about the same things. There could be a message in there for you. Yeah, look, we have Justice in reverse. Okay, Libra energy. But see, this is what I'm saying. Things in the past or one particular thing was very unfair. Justice can talk about it can talk about karmic law, but also the 3D, you know, the courts, law systems, contracts, people not treating you or treating you how you have treated them. In reverse, it would be, you know, they haven't been treating you fairly. So you went through something very difficult. It probably turned your world, your life upside down. It felt like everything was crazy and chaotic. But in the middle of this, with the Ace of Cups, is this divine love. Now, of course, the Ace of Cups with the soulmate card can talk about this new special love being brought into your life and the both of you having some kind of mission or light work together, whether this has happened or whether it will be happening. But the Ace of Cups can also talk about love of the self. So it's almost like, you know, with the sacral chakra here, you came out of a period of darkness with much more insight, you know, a greater appreciation for yourself and much more self-love. Gosh, okay. So let's see, how can you strengthen your gifts? Where next? Where do you go next? What's your message, Spirit, please, for pile 2? Oh, wow, the Tower. I'm not surprised to see the Tower here. So Scorpio energy. But yeah, this is something, you know, information being pushed on you suddenly that you weren't necessarily asking for, an epiphany, again, claircognizance coming through, clear knowing, seeing through the crap. But the Tower, something suddenly being taken away that wasn't serving you. The 10 of Wands, there's that heaviness. If you're watching this and you feel like you're going through this struggle right now, you know, hold on to this Ace of Cups. Hold on to the fact that if you can surrender to the divine, if you know you're doing everything you can in the 3D and you're surrendering to the divine, what you need will be brought to you. And there's something here. This is helping you to transform, to grow, to see things in a way you wouldn't have. And this strength is going to serve you either later on in this lifetime or maybe in lifetimes to come. Okay, we have the Knight of Swords. So something here about communication. Do you know, I'm almost seeing the Knight of Swords. We know he rushes in, he rushes in really quickly. With this card here, the Warrior Saint, I'm almost seeing like a general in a battle charging forward, leading the troops. And there's like a protective energy coming through. There's a fierceness. I'm always feeling like Aries energy here. It's like you've been prepared, or you're being prepared to lead and protect either those around you, friends, family, or maybe on a soul level, you're attracting a soul family. And it's not just that they're coming to you because you've been where they are now, you've been through this hard work, this transformation, you can impart wisdom. It's like you're leading them on some kind of journey here, and you're very, very protective. Leo energy as well. It's like if someone messes with your people, you will cut them with your sword. Let's keep going. Kind of want to unpack this and see what it means. I feel you're taking people on a journey. I feel for some of you, you're like, what is she talking about? Because I think this is something coming up. Yeah, the Four of Cups. This is something that for many of you hasn't happened yet, but it's a good thing. I'm making it sound intense and scary and like a battle. It feels like a battle, but I feel excited. I feel like I'm ready. I'm ready to follow you. I trust you, and I'm you've gone charging off on your horse, and I'm saying, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to face whatever comes. So, whatever this opportunity is, whatever form it takes, it comes to you at a point in your life when you're feeling a bit bored with everything around you. You're saying, okay, I've got what I've got. It's fine. I've been working, in this field, and it's great. It's working out, but I'm craving something new, and Spirit comes in with an opportunity, and you might have to take a leap of faith to go with this, but I think it's worth it. This is exciting. I'm not getting really, I want to get more specific, and I suppose it's going to vary, for each of you, but there's an opportunity that comes in, and you get to be a leader, and you're very passionate about it, and you feel very protective of the people around you, and these people are going to trust you. Okay, what else can you tell us about this, please? And this ties in directly to your gifts, because you have this ability, with claircognizance and clairvoyance to see the truth, as I keep saying, and justice, balance. That's almost a very, it's an unbiased, objective card. So people know, what's going on. If you say something, they know it's the truth. You're not just trying to stroke their ego. You're not going to lie to them. And this is why they trust you. And also, because of what you've been through, you have this inner strength, so you're not just saying things. They know you've lived through it. So you wouldn't tell them something that you didn't know personally. Yeah, we have the Six of Wands in reverse, and that's so interesting. Look, Lord of Victory, and we know in the Rider-Waite deck, it is someone who looks like they've come back from some sort of battle or something, and they're being celebrated by other people. Okay, what else, please? We have the Eight of Swords, Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Let's see what's on the back. The Page of Wands, going off on a journey. So this battle, it could be that people will start coming to you because they're like, look, I'm in this Eight of Swords energy. I have these very negative repeating thoughts. I cannot see a way out. And you're going to help them battle through one of, or some of the darkest periods of their life. You honestly, whatever this is, it's going to be something you take incredibly seriously. This feels like a soul's mission, a soul purpose. And with this soulmate energy, yeah, this could be you finding your soul tribe, them being drawn towards you. This could be something you and a friend or a lover, a soul partner. This could be something you both embark on together. So with this Four of Cups, it could be you have the opportunity to set up a business, to become entrepreneurs, to travel to a different country and do something there. Yeah, but this is big, and there's a real sense of, you are protecting those around you, or those who are going to be drawn towards you, and there's potentially someone here who you will be working with, because you know you have gone through similar things, and you're on the same mission here, you have the same goal. So I would say be on the lookout for this opportunity coming towards you, and you know it's going to be possibly completely different to where you are now, to what you're doing now, but it feels worth exploring this. It feels worth going for this. And there's very fast movement here, fast energy. Helping people, supporting people, using your clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience. So it's almost like your gifts, they may in the past or right now, they might feel very private, but there's a reason that you've been made aware of these, and there's a reason that your awareness was so sudden, and maybe your journey has been quite difficult. It's because it's been building up this strength, this warrior spirit within you. Wow. So I think, you know, the advice here would be keep doing whatever you're doing, keep being you, but there's an opportunity coming in, if it hasn't already, and possibly someone, you know, who you will resonate with very deeply on a soul level, and you will be talking and you will mention something and they'll be like, my God, I've been thinking the same thing. And you would just, you know, this energy takes off very quickly. So this is a healing, supportive energy, but with a real like kick behind it, you know, possibly tough love. But it does feel more like, you know, you're sort of, it's like a lion and a lioness protecting cubs, and if anyone comes near them, they will attack. It's that kind of protectiveness that I'm feeling here. You know, because it's like you've been where these people will be when they find you, and you know, you don't want anyone to mess with them because you know how difficult their journey is, but you know where they can be, you know that you can pull them out the other side. I hope this is resonating. Okay, so pile 2, I think we'll leave this here. I think there's a lot more to unfold for you, but it's all happening as it should be. And really for you, the moment is going to be this opportunity, and this is going to be very, very clear. So you don't have to worry that you're going to miss this. And I think when it comes up, a burst of courage will be needed, but you have more than enough courage here. And as you proceed along this journey, things are going to start making sense. You know, you're going to say, oh, I see why that happened. I see why I met this person. I see why I went through this thing. I see why I tried that, but it didn't work, because now I'm over here doing this, but I can use that experience, you know, that kind of thing. It all gets brought together. Okay, so thank you for watching. I hope this helped. Let's move on now to pile 3. Hi, pile 3. Okay, so let's have a look first at your charms. So we have the Devil. So this could talk about Capricorn energy. This is also making me think of going into the shadow side. So that's something to bear in mind as we go through your reading. Your gifts, you may have had to go deep. You may have gone through a dark night of the soul to pull them out. You could have a gift here that's to do with going into the subconscious or the dream world. We do have the moon as well. So you might find that quite naturally, you're quite naturally very intuitive. I'm thinking of this, you know, the moon in tarot, Pisces energy. It's your intuition perhaps that's very, very strong, that leads you through things more than what you can see and touch and hear. So perhaps, you know, a sense of clear knowing here, clairsentience, that did come out for pile 2 as well. But let's see what cards you have. Okay, so you have an altar spell. It says sunrise spell, so I'll read that in a minute. We have detachment. You've got 2 of these cards here. We have creation, passion, Queen Esther, the morning star. Wow, okay. You are good enough, full moon in Virgo. We have show the world the real you, and that is a full moon in Aquarius. Oh, and we have crystal clear intentions. Absolutely. Okay, there was another pile. I think it was pile 1. The energy felt really big in pile 1, and I feel it's very big in this pile as well. But the difference is, in pile 3, this energy feels sort of more ethereal. So pile 3, if you resonate with this pile, you might feel that you kind of at all times, it's like you've got one foot in the 3D and one foot in the 5D, and it's very easy for you to switch between, and you might feel that you're more comfortable maybe in the 5D energy, in what's ethereal, in your intuition. And other people might look at you, and it can go one of two ways. They might think there's something very divine about you, almost untouchable, very intriguing. Other people who are less awakened might have looked at you at times and thought you were a bit of a dreamer, that your feet weren't really on the ground, that maybe at times you were a little bit too detached. But there's a very, very high vibrational energy here, and I'm not surprised that we have the energy of Aquarius here, because that's like the star. It's trusting that North Star, trusting that guiding light, wishes coming true. It's healing energy. This card of creation, it's linked to the crown chakra here, and that is the chakra we use to receive divine wisdom, guidance, knowledge. So it makes sense to me, if this resonates with you, why you would feel comfortable maybe working with the higher realms here, because your connection is so strong. Already I feel a bit of advice to develop your gifts is as uncomfortable and as maybe as boring, and I'm hearing the word laborious, as it might be, to try and work on your root chakra, and to be grounded. I think that's going to really to serve you well working forward, because I almost feel like your crown chakra, your third eye chakras are so awake, receiving divine messages, knowing what your intuition is telling you. It's obvious, it's easy for you, but being here, being present in the 3D, that might sometimes feel like the challenge. That might feel difficult. It might be that sometimes you want to sort of just be in meditation or connect with the divine realm, almost to escape the 3D, which might feel very heavy, sluggish, slow for you. There might be a tendency to want to detach. Sometimes when people aren't awakened, you might feel like you're banging your head against this brick wall here, and you might just despair, and you might think, okay, let me just disconnect, because this is driving me crazy. I don't know why this person I'm talking to is so blind. So let's see what it says. Sometimes we have to detach in order to gain clarity about a situation. Nothing outside of you will fix an inside problem. Spirit is asking you to take a step back and get a different perspective. Okay, and I feel this is something you already know. It's almost like you have all of the wisdom within. You never need to go outside of yourself to find clarity, and especially with this sunrise spell as well. The sunrise is clarity, the sun illuminates things. With this devil charm, this is the polar opposite, this is the shadow side. So one of two things. Some of you are in this incredibly high vibration of light, divine light here, because you have been into your shadow side, and either what you found maybe was difficult, was or scary, or just a bit confusing. You couldn't make sense of it, and it wasn't that pleasant, so you pulled away. Or you went into the shadow side, and you've been doing such incredible healing with the energy of the star coming through, that you have transmuted a lot of what you were carrying in your subconscious or in your shadow here, wounds, triggers, traumas. So now you're naturally in this higher, it's not even a higher vibration. I really keep hearing and feeling that other people, when they look at you, when they're around you, they feel like there's something different, that you're kind of this almost spiritual being, which you actually are, and people know this, they can see this within you. And it might, like I said, it might come across as you sometimes not being fully present in the room or fully present with them, because you have such a strong connection to the divine. It's like almost like you're always being pulled in two directions, in the 3D and the 5D. You might find that you're inundated with messages from the divine. So you might even need to set up a bit of a boundary and say, I'm happy to receive nudges, guidance, messages, as long as, it's not preventing me from being grounded or interfering with my 3D life. So setting boundaries could be a helpful thing here. Did I read this? Let me read this sunrise spell. Float a rose in a clear bowl of water and light a pink candle beside the bowl. With your left hand, gently stir the water in the bowl and say, "These waters cleanse my soul and being. Now, with a clear mind and heart, I am seeing. I am love. My heart is as big as the sky and earth. From the east to the west, love universal gives life its worth. Blessings to all, so mote it be." Keep the blessing bowl in your kitchen, on your kitchen altar for 3 days and 3 nights. Okay. So the left side of the body is linked to feminine energy, which is about introspection, intuition. Again, the moon energy here, strong Piscean energy. But you see, it's like you've transcended petty drama, stress. You're all about light and love. You have this higher perspective on things. There's a real strong sense of healing here. Some people might find it difficult actually to feel like they're really getting to know you. It's like however much they know about you, there's always that part of you that's very dreamy and serene, and they might be like, how are you always so peaceful? How and you might be saying to them, well, why are you so stressed about this silly petty thing? So your gifts, okay, you have a strong connection through your crown chakra to the divine. I almost feel like one of your gifts here is being at any given moment, being able to connect with a guide, an ancestor, an archangel, and to gain some kind of answer, wisdom, support. It's almost like it's easier, it's more natural for you to be in that state than to be focused on the 3D here. We have passion. Passion, this is linked to the sacral chakra, which is quite a grounded card. It's about, bringing birth. We have the sun in the background, clarity and illumination again. So starting new things, helping other people to reinvent themselves. But it might be that, something you're working on or a way forward from here is to bring this ethereal quality, this light, this healing, this connection you have. You might have a passion for bringing this to other people, bringing this into the 3D, or you want to do something with it, but maybe you're not sure. Let's look into that actually. Let's go to tarot right now. We'll come back to these oracle cards. And you see how they have their backs to each other. It's almost like there might be a bit of a disconnect. Like you're saying, yes, I feel this way. I have a passion, that I want to share some of these abilities or the skill or the fact that I can receive these messages, but it feels big. What do I do with this? How do I ground this? So let's see. Oh, Spirit's telling me also, I need to point out that yes, there is something different about you. People see you as being different, but it's not in a negative way. So please don't be afraid to be different, to allow that side of yourself to shine a little bit more. If it's almost like I'm clearly seeing an image of my head of somebody standing, just somewhere, and there are 2 other people standing a few feet away, talking to each other, side-eyeing this person. So this person by themselves is you, and you might think, oh, they're talking about me, they're saying negative things, but they're not. They're curious. They're asking each other, what do you know about her or him? And they're curious about this energy that's different. It's an intrigue, a curiosity. They want to know more, but it's almost like they don't know what to ask, because it sounds weird, doesn't it? You can't just say to someone, oh, you seem like a very ethereal person, what's going on with that? But allow yourself to shine. Okay, let's see. So what next, please? Advice and guidance on merging this creation with passion. Okay, 2 of Wands, 10 of Cups. So if you're able to do this, I think it's going to bring you an incredible amount of happiness. Spirit could be saying, yes, there is a path forward, but it feels incredibly new. It might feel scary. It might encourage you to, I'm hearing drop an identity. So it's about shaking off old, outdated facades, showing yourself in a different way, really allowing yourself to be authentic, to be this star, to be this guiding light. 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. And the Chariot. Okay, Cancer energy here, but it's very interesting. The Chariot follows the star. Okay, so your intuition is guiding you, is leading you, and that's no surprise to you. This, you can ground this. The Eight of Pentacles in reverse. There's some work that could be put in here that you might not be seeing, or you might be saying, I can't, I can't go in that direction because it's crazy. If I start doing this, I'm going to have to tell people. Or tell me more about this Eight of Pentacles, please. Yeah, the Knight of Wands, Three of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. Okay, so if you decide to go for this, you're going to be incredibly successful here. With the Queen of Wands, you have the knowledge, the wisdom, the passion. The Queen of Wands, to me, is the queen that's the most balanced in terms of receiving intuitive messages, but also being successful in a 3D sense. So this can be you. The Three of Pentacles, it might be reaching out to other people, working as part of a team on this, finding a mentor, that sort of thing, because you have a lot of passion, and possibly through teamwork, you know, this passion is going to be channeled in a very productive way that leads to a successful outcome. I really feel there's something stopping you here around knowing you're going to have to be completely authentic and being worried about how you might be received. So let's say you work at the moment in, I don't know, at some kind of admin, and where you really want to go is in some sort of direction where it's about healing, it's about working with your intuition, putting your intuition to use in a more tangible sense. But the people you have around you at work, your friends, your family, they have no idea about this side of you, that you're maybe interested in this sort of thing. They've always known there's something slightly unique. They haven't been able to put their finger on it, and you're worried about saying, I believe in astrology, or I believe in energy healing, or, you know, whatever it is, because you're not sure how you're going to be received, because you already know that there feels like a bit of a divide between you and others, and people can sense this. So you're saying, well, if I show them all of me, you know, am I going to be an outcast, or how will things go? And I think they will go well, because you might be mistaking intrigue, curiosity for something that's a little bit more hostile. And I think sometimes people aren't sure how to speak with you or relate to you, because you see things differently. You see them from a much higher perspective. And it's almost like you might not be interested in small talk. And so they're saying, okay, well then what are you interested in? You know, it's like this image here of this woman. I feel it's almost like this is you, whether you're a woman or a man watching. This is the energy of you. Someone comes towards you and they want to talk to you. They're very attracted to you. Maybe physically you're beautiful, but this energy is definitely beautiful. And you're just looking at them. You might have a very piercing gaze. They know that you see straight through them, you know, not in like a negative way, but you really see who they are. You're looking at their soul when you look at them. And that's how you look at everything. You see straight to the core of it. And it makes them uncomfortable, because if they start saying, well, how did the project go? Oh, isn't it sunny today? Oh, what did you have for lunch? It's so trivial. It's beyond trivial. So they don't even bother to say that. So then they're thinking, well, what should I say? And then they get nervous. So often they might even be too afraid to even approach you at all. But again, it's not because they don't want to. It's almost like they want to know more. They want to know how to be able to interact with you. So Spirit's saying, if with this Two of Wands, if you can take this leap of faith, people will come towards you. You might even find that you find more of a genuine community than you've ever experienced before. It's not going to be that you get pushed further away. And look, see, we have you are good enough. Also, full moon in Virgo. Virgo energy to me links to that Eight of Pentacles. It's being very detail oriented, very focused on the details of something. So your gifts here definitely clairvoyance, seeing straight to the core of things. We've got a very strong connection with the high D, with the 5D. Let me just think about this sacral card here. This is definitely a skill in bringing things to life, transmutation possibly as well. I can hear my cat washing through the microphone. Sorry if you can as well. Okay, let me think. Okay. So I don't know if there's a specific word for this, but Spirit is telling me you have, one of your gifts is the ability to take the stimulus that you get from the 3D. So things you can taste. There is a word for that. I can't remember what it is. It might be clairgustance, something like that. I'm not sure. So things you taste, things you can touch, smell, and see. You take this information in, and somehow, maybe through your crown chakra, it gets reworked. You kind of assimilate this information and you understand what it really means, what it's telling you. Now, that doesn't really mean, to me, that's kind of vague, but I feel for you that's going to make sense. It's like, let's say you're investigating a crime scene, you take the evidence, you process it, you come to a conclusion. It's kind of like that, but then something to do with your crown, this connection you have to the divine. It's at that point, processing, understanding the information, it means something to you. You get some kind of insight that other people don't. I don't understand what that means, but it helps you to see things that other people miss. Let me know if you know what that means, because I don't know what that means, but I feel that you do. And I think it's something you do all the time. And this is another reason, why you might feel separate from others, or they might see you as being a bit separate, because they're in the same room, they're enjoying the food, the smells, the conversation on that level only. But it's like you're processing, and they don't know consciously, intellectually that that's what you're doing, but they know something extra is going on here, that you're seeing something. You have a level of clarity that other people don't have. Okay. Okay. So there's something here about showing the real you. We have the Morning Star. What does it say? My ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. This is what I mean. The ego, 3D based, is in service of your soul, which is always connected to the higher realms, to source energy. I wish I'd read this before. This is exactly what I've been trying to say here. There's something more that's not coming out, and it's getting on my nerves. Let's try and pull this message out. We have strength popping out, Leo energy here. Ooh. So Spirit, can you show us what next for group 3? Where can they take these gifts? How can they use these? How can they develop them? And to what purpose? To what end? Because I feel that's what many of you are asking. Okay, so we have the 3 of Swords, 8 of Cups, the Lovers in reverse. Oh my goodness, the Lovers in reverse is close to the Devil card, because it's like the flip side, the shadow side of the Lovers, and we do have this Devil charm here. What's on the back? The Queen of Swords in the reverse. 3 of Swords, 8 of Cups. This is, again, Spirit's encouraging you to leave an identity behind, a way of doing something, a life you're living, something that's emotionally unsatisfying at this point. It might be incredibly scary. It might be that it's time to dip back into that shadow side, or to take the strength that you've gained through being in your shadow, transmuting, doing all of that healing work. I think what we're seeing, because we're getting the same message over and over and over, is that your next steps will be revealed once you feel more, proud of who you are, more secure, knowing that people aren't sort of side-eyeing you in a negative way. It's because they want to get closer to you. They want to understand what it is that's so different about you, because they know there is something different, but it's very attractive, it's very alluring, but they don't kind of know how to necessarily be around you, because it's not like being around other people. It's quite intimidating actually, but also at the same time, because you have all this energy of light and high vibration around you, it's very attractive. They keep being drawn back towards you. We have strength here. Strength overcomes the Devil energy. So you have been through something big, or you've been through a lot. Possibly that's pushed you into this, to have this strong connection with your crown chakra here. But there's more to come. Spirit will not reveal this to me now. And we do, obviously we have the moon, and that can talk about things. It's not the right time for things to be revealed. But what it is the right time for is for you to be telling yourself, I am good enough. The real me, who maybe is doing things differently, who feels different, who people see as different, who's on a different path to friends and family, that me is good enough, and that me is going to be accepted. So whatever that means to you, whether it means you're going to start behaving differently in a way that's more authentic to you, or you're going to start looking for work that resonates with you, or interacting with your friends in a different way. You're not going to just humor their kind of gossip or whatever it is, being more in alignment. It's almost like a star, an actual star in the sky, trying to, dim its light. We can all see the star, and we all like to look at stars, but in the same way they feel unreachable, and that's kind of you. People see you as this light who's a little bit unreachable, but they really admire you, and they like to keep looking at you and observing you. And the more you kind of reveal who you are, the truth of who you are, the more they're going to possibly begin to understand. But the more they're going to be able to appreciate you even more, not on such a superficial level. They're going to start being able to understand you more deeply. So there's a fear here that Spirit's trying to alleviate. And a message here about walking away from things that may have been fulfilling in the past, but they're not anymore, walking towards your 10 of Cups. And I feel as you do this, you're going to start meeting like-minded people, souls who help you along this journey and help you to sort of to really make something of this shining light that you have, if that's something you want to do. Either way, the Queen of Wands, that's a really nice balance between the 3D and 5D. As I've said, it's someone who's very successful in their own right, so whatever that means to you, someone who's feeling good, confident, happy. Okay, so pile 3, you've been the pile that's been almost the most, again, this makes sense. What I'm trying to say, people see you as almost a bit unreachable, ethereal. That's kind of how this reading has felt for me. So I'm really hoping this makes sense for you, because not all the messages have really, I haven't been able to ground all of them in the way that I would want to for a reading, but I'm just going to have to trust that it makes sense to you. So I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments if this does make sense. Good luck and take care. Bye.